So let me back up for a second. Now, you're welcome to, again, start however you want, right? So really, within any of my classes, just if you want to lay down, that's okay. No big deal. If you want to start seated, if you want to start in child's pose, just start however you want. I'm going to bring myself in a seated shape, propping my tailbone with a blanket. And if you haven't met me before, hi, my name is Luciana. With Austin Yoga Tree, I teach Monday nights yin, but I'm very happy to sub for Joanne this morning. So thank you for coming. Now, before we close your eyes, you don't have to close your eyes just yet. And of course, if you want to shift around a little bit before settling into stillness is fine as well. No rush to the stillness aspect. But what I'd like us to talk about today is allowing us to give that undivided attention. And many of you have already heard me talking about this, but in different ways. So I want to talk about how we can give ourselves this undivided attention, the same way we would our favorite song, the same way we would our favorite movie. And we, you know, some of you guys that were signing on earlier were talking about fireworks, that same idea of like, you're watching something and you're amazed by it and you're giving it that undivided attention, whether it's for experience or enjoyment, or maybe it's intellectual and you're receiving information, whatever it may be. But we'll want to do that within our internal space as well, giving ourselves that undivided attention. And through that undivided attention, I'd just like us to take a moment to think about how that relates to our healing, whether it's through the physical body, through the energetic emotional body, maybe through the mindful mental body. And how does that relate to healing? You know? More importantly, which is cool fun fact that we may all know, but may not have realized, you know, the body does its own healing naturally. We break a bone, we pull a muscle, we get a paper cut, and our consciousness isn't looking at our finger to heal the paper cut, right? Our consciousness isn't looking at our broken ankle for days on end to heal the bone. It does it all by itself. So when we talk about giving ourselves this undivided attention, notice how the body does that. The body gives itself its undivided attention all the time. We can do this consciously, practicing giving ourselves this undivided attention to as well work with our healing on all the many layers and many surfaces. So that's what we're going to come in today. You know, think about that throughout your practice. Think about that when we're paused in poses, or when we're taking child's pose, or even if you forget about it, think about it maybe when you're in Shavasana. But overall, this undivided attention, not just from the conscious perspective, but also from the body's innate intelligence and how it's there to heal ourselves in the very best way it can through all the different layers of the body. Okay, so feel free now to find stillness and close the eyes when you're ready. If it's uncomfortable to close the eyes, you'll just keep the gaze soft, not looking at anything specific. With one sweep of consciousness, relax the entire body. Soften wherever you'd like. And then let's begin to find some engagement. So we'll draw the belly button into the spine. The lower, middle, and upper belly all are engaged. And then you can lift up through the diaphragm, lift up through the rib cage and chest, feeling your entire back spine straighten. And continue to breathe through this engagement, as well as finding that softness in the jaw and tongue. Torso is still lifted, but can you relax through the glutes and through the knees? And keeping this engagement of the torso, find some softness through the fingers and toes. And as we spend another moment here to warm the body, let's take one cleansing breath together. We'll inhale through the nose and then open the lips to exhale. Let's do that one more time. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you relax the lips, notice the warmth traveling through the torso, through the chest, maybe within the cheeks of the face. You're welcome to keep your hands relaxed where they are, or you can bring them into a prayer shape at heart center. Listening or joining me for the sound of Om as we take a deep breath in. When you've completed your Om, gently bow your chin towards your chest. Taking a moment to allow the vibrations to settle within the heart space. Allow them to reverberate off of the walls of the inner body. And allow them to seal your intentions for practice. And so from here, you can relax the hands, begin to lift the chin, opening the eyes, as you welcome yourself back into your space. And if you're in a laying down or child's pose position, you'll come back to sit. We'll all find this cross-legged shape if you're not already there. And then again, maybe you have a blanket or a pillow or something propping your tailbone. Okay. Once you're there, find the engagement of the torso. Again, lift up through the spine. And on the inhale, we'll reach both arms high. On the exhale, lower the right arm down as we lengthen through the left side of the body. You don't have to lift up the glute too high, so just go as far as the side body is willing to bend at this moment. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. On the inhale, push down to reach both arms up. And then on the exhale, lower the left arm down as we lengthen through the right side. Same idea, you don't have to go too far here. Just work within the framework of your diaphragm. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. On the inhale, you'll push down. Again, lengthen through the side body. And then on the exhale, you'll forward fold over your shins. Guiding your hands out as far as you'd like, but root the sitting bones down towards the ground as you guide that tailbone towards the back of the room. And breathing here, you're welcome to lower the chin a little bit. Re-engage the belly, giving yourself more space to fold. Full breath in and full breath out. And you can begin to walk your palms back to meet the shins, lifting through the head and chest. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn to the side so that you can see me. On the inhale, reach both arms high. On the exhale, you're going to sweep the arms back behind you, right? So I'm going to stop halfway and feel my shoulder blades touch, and then I'll bend my elbows and grab onto opposite elbows, however you'd like to do that. Or maybe you'll be grabbing onto opposite forearms instead. As you inhale, allow yourself to lengthen, and then on the exhale, you'll begin to hinge forward. So now this time, if you want to reach off of the glutes a little bit, you're welcome to hinge. And then maybe your forearms will press high towards the ceiling. They will not go very far just because they're sitting in the shoulder joint, but just slightly to find the engagement within the upper back. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then on the inhale, begin to rise back up. On the inhale, reach both arms high to the ceiling. And then on the exhale, allow the hands to rest within your lap. Okay, we'll take a few seated cat-cows. On the inhale, you'll lift the chest and draw the hands towards the hips, right? So the elbows are bent, shoulder blades touching. And then take an exhale as you push the hands away, rounding into the body. Okay. Feel free to do that a few more times at your own pace. But your inhale will draw the hands down towards the hips, elbows draw back. Your exhale will push the hands away as you round into the body. And maybe you're going to do that 2 or just one more time, depending on how you're moving, whatever pace you're taking here. Just allow yourself to lengthen through the breath. Continue to expose your breath throughout your rounds of cat-cow. Okay, maybe you just do one more. And then after that last round of cat with the chin tucked in towards the chest, you'll allow yourself to come back to a neutral spine. You'll relax your shoulders there, moving gently if helpful. Again, on the inhale, sweep both arms high. You're lengthening through the side bodies. On your exhale, you'll sweep the arms back behind you, pausing for a moment to get the shoulder blades to touch. And then you're welcome to bend the elbows and interlace your fingertips here, or again, grab opposite elbows. So that will be your choice, whatever is best for you. Now, as you lengthen, your fingertips or your knuckles may touch the ground, and that's okay. Inhale again, just one more time to lengthen. On the exhale, you'll hinge forward, and maybe hinging over the shins will lift your tailbone here, which is fine. Again, press the shoulder blades together, allowing yourself to work through that upper back. Your hands and arms don't have to go very high, so just work with the body. Breathing in. Breathing out. On the inhale, lift up through the head and chest. You'll ground down into the tailbone. As you sweep the hands in front of you, again, let them find the knees or the tops of the thighs. Inhale to draw your chest forward into seated cow. Exhale as you push the hands away for seated cat. Again, doing this a few more times at your own pace. Maybe making 2, 3, 4 rounds. Sometimes holding cat pose, I can get a little stretch in my upper right shoulder. So I can hold that for a breath or 2. Maybe if holding cow pose and the seated variation is opening up through your collarbones and you find that beneficial and healing to your body, hold that seated cow for a few breaths there. Okay, but still finding that expansion of the inhale and the exhale, and still finding that length of the breath. Okay, so taking one more final round, allowing yourself to find another cat shape. And then as you inhale, you'll come back to neutral, right? And if you want to move through the shoulders a little bit, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, one more thing here, seated. Inhale, sweep both arms high to the ceiling. On the exhale, forward fold over the shins. So with this shape, we want to walk our hands out as far as you'd like to. And then reconnect your sitting bones down to the floor. Belly can re-engage, giving yourself that space to forward fold. Taking a few more breaths here as you relax through the jaw and relax through the tongue. Full breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale here, you'll walk your hands back to meet the shins as you lift through the head and chest. Okay, so from here we can come off that blanket. We can allow ourselves to unravel the legs so that we meet in tabletop. Now, if a blanket will be helpful for your knees, you're more than welcome to find a blanket for the knees. And then as you spread the fingertips wide, we'll ground the palms into the mat, allowing the knees to walk underneath the hips. Maybe you're shaking the hips side to side. Okay, so we're gonna come in through a few movements, but I wanna talk about for a second the placement of weight within our hands, right? So if we want to exaggerate this, maybe you lean back so that all your weight is in your wrists and in the bottom of the palms, right? Sometimes we feel this here all the time anyway. As you engage your belly, start to bring your weight forward into your fingertips. Notice as you press into the floor, you'll lengthen through your chest, right? So you'll feel that engagement of the collarbones and of the shoulders. Now, bring your weight over to your left. So really ground down into that left palm. Press all your weight into the left fingertips. As you inhale, you'll reach that right arm forward. Continue to inhale and reach that right arm all the way up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, child's pose with that right hand back towards the feet. Your head doesn't have to touch the floor. On the inhale, press down into that left palm. Reach the right arm up, back, and all the way forward. Again, we're in tabletop. Okay? And when we do this, you're welcome to look at your hand the entire time, or maybe you just bring your gaze down. But again, let's draw our weight back a little bit. So it's almost as if we're in child's pose. Engage your belly, lower, middle, and upper belly all engaged. You're gonna start to hinge your weight forward, grounding down into all 10 fingertips, and then bring your weight over into your right hand. Continue to press as you lift through the chest and shoulders. Inhale, left arm sweeps forward. It's gonna sweep high to the sky. And as you exhale, child's pose with the left hand resting towards the feet. Next breath in, reach that left palm up. Maybe you gaze up at it as it rests all the way back towards the mat. Okay. Now this time, bring your weight over into your left palm, right? Now that we've warmed up where that weight should be distributed within the left hand. Inhale, right arm sweeps forward. Continue to inhale as the right arm sweeps high. Exhale, rotating through the shoulder. Find that child's pose shape with the hand resting behind you. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. Your shoulder will rotate down and around all the way back to the mat. From there, bring your weight over into your right hand, engage. Inhale, left arm sweeps forward. Continue to press down as it sweeps high. Exhale as the left palm sweeps all the way back down. Engage your belly as you inhale, left arm sweeps up. Rotating through the shoulder, left palm comes all the way back down to the mat. Okay. We're gonna move both arms at the same time. Bring your weight into your knees, since we're gonna come to stand on the knees. So you bring your weight back. Inhale, sweep both arms forward. Then they'll reach high. As you exhale, open the arms behind you, and then you'll bend at the hips for child's pose. Hands resting back towards the feet. Again, on the inhale, ground down through the feet and knees, arms reach up. Shoulders will have to rotate. And then as you exhale, palms come all the way back down into tabletop. Okay. It's interesting when we do them at the same time, right? So we kind of want to listen to the body. So no rush to this. We're going to do that again. Hinge back into the knees, engage your belly. On the inhale, you'll come to stand. So the arms are going to sweep forward. Hips press forward as the arms reach high. Exhale, arms sweep back behind you. And again, you'll hinge at the hips, finding that child's pose shape with the hands resting at the feet. Inhale as we start to come to stand. Arms start to lift, triceps pressing to the ceiling. We'll stand a little taller, shoulders, palms rotate high. And then as you exhale, hands will lower down into tabletop, right? It's a slow movement. We're gonna do that one more time just for good measure, okay? This time though, instead of having the toes untuck, if it's helpful for you to tuck the toes, you're welcome to try it. Pressing down, inhale, arms sweep forward, arms sweep higher. Exhale, arms rotate back behind you. Palms will lift as you find that child's pose shape. And from there, inhale, come to stand, arms press up. Then they'll rotate to sweep high. You'll exhale as you start to hinge back. Palms will slowly lower into that tabletop shape. Feel free to shake the hips side to side here, if that feels good for the spine. Maybe your spine will want to find a round of cat-cow. That could feel good. And then from here, we'll bring the big knees, or the knees a little wider, big toes touch, right? And then allow the hips to meet the heels to rest in child's pose. So any child's pose, any variation that you'd like, knees a little wider, knees a little closer, this is really up to you. Just finding that healing aspect of the body, giving yourself that undivided attention. Now, I would like us to bring our hands back behind us. So taking that other variation of child's pose we see often. If your knees are too wide, you may want to lift up a little bit. Bring your knees closer underneath the chest, and then you can lower back down into child's pose. But have your arms wrap around, hands resting back towards the feet. Okay, from there, I'd like you to make some gentle fists. The thumb doesn't have to be underneath the fingers, right? So just keep the thumb on the outside, but make a gentle fist. And then pick up your knuckles. So draw your knuckles high to the ceiling, just to get a little wrist stretch here. Now, some of you will keep your arms to the floor. Others may want to lift the arms up in the air behind them as they draw the knuckles high to the ceiling. So just do whatever is best for you, whatever feels good. But breathe into the stretch within the top of the palm, maybe within the wrists a little bit. Again, take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Taking one more inhale. And full exhale. And as you lower the palms down, open out the fingers. Maybe you wiggle the fingers a little bit, opening into the hands. And then we'll let the arms come all the way back to the top of the mat. We'll guide ourselves forward again into that tabletop shape. So walking the knees back underneath the hips. Again, shake the hips side to side. Take a round of cat-cow, whatever is best for your body. Evenly distribute your weight within the fingers and within the palms. Allow your right leg to step back behind you. Okay, so we're pressing into the palms, engaging the chest. We're pressing into the ball of that right foot and all of those toes. And then we'll step the left leg back so you're in plank. We're just going to take one breath there. Allow yourself to inhale. And then on the exhale, reach the hips up for downward facing dog. You can walk your feet in a little closer if you'd like to. Maybe you're going to bend into the knees, alternate lifting through the heels, whatever it may be. But again, distribute your weight evenly as best as possible within both palms. Eventually, you'll find stillness in this downward facing dog. Again, engage the lower, middle, and upper belly. Taking a full breath in. And a full breath out. We'll then bend into both knees deeply. And we'll start to walk our feet to meet our hands at the top of the mat. You're welcome to bend the knees generously here. Keep your belly and chest connected towards the thighs. From there, hands are going to come to the shins and inhale, lift flat back. So we're going to find Ardha Uttanasana as we draw the collarbone forward. Exhale as you allow yourself to fold. On the inhale, press down and rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Good, so let yourself find mountain pose here. Readjust your feet where necessary. We're gonna do a lot. So I was gonna say, we're gonna do a few things here, but we're gonna do a lot. So we're gonna come into a few standing suryas, and then we're gonna do a few side body stretches. So you're standing tall in Tadasana. You're grounding down into your toes, engaging the arches of your feet as you lift up through the thighs, engage the belly. On the inhale, sweep both arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. On the exhale, slight bend into the knees as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Slight bend to the knees as you rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Next breath in, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, tuck your chin, bend your knees as you forward fold. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Okay, let's do that one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, forward fold, however you'd like. We're meet in Uttanasana. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Slight bend into the knees as you rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Take a moment to pause there, just as we would in child's pose. Coming back to the breath, noticing subtle sensations within the body. And same thing that we did in child's pose, make some gentle fists with your hands. The thumbs can be on the outside, but make some gentle fists. And then this time, draw the knuckles up towards you. And as you draw the knuckles forward up towards you, they may not go very far, but at least, again, we're stretching into the wrists. Maybe stretching into the tops of the palms. And maybe doing this standing, you may get some sensations in the forearms as well. Just take one breath in. One breath out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, so you can start to release the palms, wiggle the fingers, maybe roll through the wrists. I'm just going to turn myself sideways so you can see, but you're welcome to stay at the top of your mat just as you are. On the inhale, sweep both arms high. You're welcome to gaze up. You're going to find your right wrist, and as you hold on to your right wrist, let yourself lengthen. And then on the exhale, you'll side body bend to the left. Now, as we take this side body bend, allow yourself to redistribute your weight in both feet, similar to how we distributed our weight into both hands, grounding down through all the toes. You're welcome to gaze up high. You're welcome to gaze down. Maybe you gaze forward. Full breath in. Full breath out. On the inhale, press into the feet, lift up. You'll find your left wrist now. And again, notice if there's any arching, tuck your body in, engage your belly. As you inhale, again, lengthen. And then on the exhale, we'll side body bend to the right. And as you're doing that, again, redistribute your weight within your feet. Sometimes the tailbone sticks out high, which creates an exaggerated arch. So we'll glide the tailbone underneath us as we side body bend. Breathing in and breathing out. On the inhale, we'll lift up. On the exhale, relax the arms down by the sides. Okay. So standing cat-cow here. Guide the palms to your upper thighs or your hips. As you inhale, you'll draw the chest forward, hands rise, elbows wing back. So just like a seated cat-cow, but we're standing. On the exhale, draw the hands down your thighs as you tuck your chin and round into the body. Again, inhale, lift the palms up, bend the elbows, rotate the shoulders, cow pose as the chest pulls forward. Exhale as you round, guiding the hands down. So just let yourself do that one more time. Inhale into your cow shape. Exhale into your cat shape. Okay, and then as you inhale, you'll find Tadasana. You're welcome to wiggle out through the shoulders if helpful. And then we're going to do a few more standing shapes here. So a little different, but inhale, sweep the arms high. On the exhale, sweep the arms back behind you and hold on to opposite elbows or opposite forearms, right? Whatever works for you. On the inhale, allow yourself to lengthen. On the exhale, we're going to side body bend to the left. So our arms are behind us. We're side body bending to the left. Can you guide that right elbow up towards the ceiling, right? So we're going to allow ourselves to take our hands up and behind us. Again, as you're doing that, you're gliding the tailbone underneath you. Maybe you gaze down or maybe you gaze up high to the ceiling. Full breath in. Full breath out. Press into your feet. Breath in. Breath out. On the inhale, you'll come back to center. Again, reach both arms high. On the exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. This time, grab onto the opposite elbow or forearm on top. Inhale as you lengthen the spine, engage your belly. On the exhale, we'll side body bend to the right. Redistribute your weight within your feet and then press the left elbow high to the ceiling, guiding the bottom arm as well back behind you. Now in doing so, you'll keep the belly engaged. You'll maybe spiral the chest higher towards the ceiling. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. On the inhale, you'll come back to center. Reach both arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. On the exhale, slight bend into the knees as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands to the shins. Inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Beautiful. Stay present with your breath. And then I'd just like you to distribute all your weight within your feet. Okay, so just like we did with the palms, draw your weight back into your heels, as if you were going to keep tipping, but just be mindful. And then bring your weight over to the right. Maybe your knees will bend a little bit to help with balance. Bring your weight forward into the balls of the feet and into the toes. You'll feel your weight hinging forward. You'll gravitate your weight to the left and then back to the heels, maybe the legs straighten. Okay, again, slight bend into the knees as you bring your weight back. Bring your weight to the right. Bring your weight forward into the balls of the feet, to the left, and then back into the heels. And then you'll take the same way, but in the other direction. And it looks like you're moving in a little circle almost. Maybe you're making more of an oval or a star shape. It doesn't matter, right? There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just explore the distribution of your weight within your feet. Maybe you tip forward and back. Maybe you go side to side. But just like we did with our hands, notice all of the ground, right? Notice your whole space within your foot that you can utilize now that we're going to start coming into some standing poses. Okay, so Feel free to release that. You'll come back into your Tadasana. And then bring your hands to your hips just to help with balance for a moment. Hands are at the hips. Bring your weight over to the right foot. So that means we're just hinging our body to the right. Press down into that big toe as we let the left knee hover high into the chest. Now again, step into that right foot. Hands are at the hips. Hands are in the air. Hands are on the wall. Hands could be at a chair nearby. Take a breath in. On the breath out, you'll begin to hinge forward and we'll step this left leg all the way back into high lunge. Okay, now as you're doing that, your hands can still be at the hips. Readjust the feet, however is best for you. And then when you're ready, you're going to sweep both arms high. Okay, we're only going to be here for a moment because then I want to talk about alignment. But take a full breath in and a full breath out. Okay, now relax that left arm down and bring your left palm to your back hamstring there. Your left hand is touching your left thigh behind you. Palm is up or down. I just want you to notice if this leg is collapsing a little bit, push that hamstring, push the back of the thigh up into your hand. Okay, and then as you feel that, if your front right knee got a little bit unbent, maybe you walk your foot forward and again bend into that knee without losing the engagement of that back thigh. Okay, and then when you're ready, you'll bring your hands to the hips. Maybe your hands are at a wall, maybe your hands are on a chair, or you'll reach both arms high to the ceiling. Okay, take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale. And full exhale. Now we'll lower that left heel down. Our legs are going to be wide. Pivot the toes to the side wall. Keep your hands in the air. Okay? So we're in flying warrior shape here. All 10 toes facing the side wall. Again, inhale, reach from the armpits all the way high to the ceiling. And as you exhale, hands will come into prayer as we start to forward fold in Prasarita A. Now, if your hands don't comfortably touch the floor, you're welcome to find maybe that chair nearby that you like to practice with, and your forearms or your palms can come to rest. Maybe you're using blocks also. So choose what's best for you. Either way, engage your belly. Continue to draw your belly button into the spine because that will give you that space to fold. Right? Take a moment to find your breath here. Oh, here we go. Okay. As you were breathing in that Prasarita A, my microphone was telling me my batteries were low and I was getting really nervous because I don't want to lose you guys in a post. So in your Prasarita, your belly is engaged, you're relaxing the jaw and tongue, right? Your hands are somewhere, chair, blocks, floor. You're feeling that pressure, right? That engagement within the hands or the arms evenly, as well as the feet. Just take one more breath wherever you are. Full inhale and a full exhale. Now, begin to bend into the knees like a deep squat. Bend into your knees and bring your hands to the hips. From there, you'll come to stand. As you press into the feet, you'll straighten the legs. You'll reach the arms all the way up. And then on the exhale, allow yourself to pivot on your right heel into Warrior Two or Virabhadrasana B at the front of the mat. So if the feet want to come a little wider now, you're more than welcome to do so. But you'll move on your right foot, bending into your right knee, gazing over the right fingertips. Okay. Now again, if you want to take a moment to look down at your right big toe, And if you can't see it because your knee is knocking inward, please engage the inner thigh so that when you look down, you can notice it. Breathing in your warrior two, lift up through the diaphragm as you relax the shoulders down. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more inhale. And full exhale. One more time. Pivot the right toes to the side wall. Lift the prayer up. On the exhale, open the arms out to T. Wing the arms behind you. You'll grab opposite elbows or interlace the fingertips. On the inhale, you'll lift the chest to lengthen. And then on the exhale, hinge forward for Prasarita C. Now, you do not have to lower your head very low to the ground here. Even if you were using that chair previously, maybe you just take it halfway. And then you can bring your arms back to the chair. Maybe instead of the arms back behind you, you'd rather be in Prasarita A and have the hands underneath you, right? So you're welcome to take any variations throughout your time. No matter what you're doing, belly stays drawn in as that gives you the space to fold. Notice the weight within your feet, right? Don't leave it all in your heels. Bring it a little forward into the balls of the feet and into the toes. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Now, wherever you are, you'll let go of the fingertips, let go of the forearms, and bring your hands underneath you. Inhale, lift flat back to lengthen the body. Your hands are on the floor, your hands are on the props, maybe a chair, but create this space and let the blood come back to the head. Take a full breath in. And then on the exhale, walk your hands forward into low lunge. So you'll want to bend that right knee as you pivot on that back left heel or left ball of the foot. But we're all meeting in low lunge at the top of the mat, right knee bending. From there, step the left foot forward to meet the right at the top of the mat. Hands will come to the shins. Inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Good, so just again, take a moment there. If you want to make those gentle fists again and draw your knuckles upward, maybe that's stretching for you. Maybe instead of drawing the knuckles upward towards your face, you bring the knuckles away from you and down, and that could create better sensation for you. But if you're doing that, make sure you're not locking into the elbow and you have a little bend to the elbow. So as much of the practice is very similar engagements, right? There's also times for intuitive decisions, noticing what feels best for you. From there, you'll release the hands, wiggle through the fingers, roll through the wrists. As we find that stillness in Tadasana, inhale, sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. On the exhale, guide the hands back down to the hips. So we'll find our balance. From here, we'll bring our weight into our left foot. Right? Now, as you're doing that, you'll start to hinge forward a little bit, then find that weight in the left foot. Grounding down into that big toe, inhale the right knee to come up into the chest. Hands are on the hips. Hands are in the air, hands are on the wall or on a chair. Ah, that rhymes. But allow yourself to find steadiness somewhere. Pressing into that left foot, lengthen through the tailbone, lift up from the hips. Take a breath in. And then on the breath out, we're going to start to hinge forward. Maybe a little bend into that left knee as the right foot steps all the way back. And if it doesn't go very far, just turn around and you can guide your foot back farther, right? Whatever is best for your high lunge shape. Right? And then when you find the balance within the feet, Inhale to reach both arms high. High lunge is a really hard pose for me, so that's why I like to break this down a little bit. First, find your stillness in high lunge. You'll engage your belly, lengthen through the diaphragm. And then let your right hand relax and touch your back thigh. Just let it find your hamstring somewhere. Push that right hamstring. As you engage that right thigh, it's gonna lift up into your right hand. And by doing that, if you let your left leg straighten a little bit, that may happen simultaneously, but we'll bend back into that left knee while keeping that right thigh engaged. From there, reach both arms up again. Okay, so here we are in high lunge. You can always lower that back foot down into warrior one if helpful. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now keep your arms here towards your ears. Lower that right heel, pivot the left toes to the side, readjust your feet so that all 10 toes are even. Take a breath in as you inhale and lengthen. And then exhale, hands come forward, Prasarita A. Fingertips to the floor, prop or chair, but inhale, lift flat back. Lengthen for a moment, create space. And then again, as you engage the belly, exhale to fold. So here we are in our Prasarita A. Again, hands can be on any sort of props if you'd like them to be. You don't even have to fold that deeply, and you can always keep the spine straight. But again, notice where your weight is, and maybe you even pretend or play around here by hinging forward and back. Bring your weight so forward into the balls of the feet and then so far back into the heels. And then can you find that middle ground so that the whole foot is engaged? Pressing into the outer edges of the pinky toes, feeling that little lift to the arches. Wherever you are, relax your jaw and tongue. We're going to take another full breath in. And one more full breath out. From here, we'll deeply bend into the knees. Keep your tailbone lifted. Hands will come to the hips. As you press down, you'll come to stand all the way up. Lifting the head. Take your time as well. Let the blood come back. Inhale as the arms reach high. Now on the exhale, you're going to pivot forward to the front of your mat so that the left knee bends into warrior two. Right? And if you're looking at me, then maybe this will be that same shape for you, but it doesn't matter. Just go towards your left foot as you gaze over your left fingertips, right? So you'll find that variation of warrior two. Now, if you look down at your left big toe, if you notice your knee is knocking inward, can you engage your inner thigh and allow the knee to rotate towards all of the other toes? And then again, lifting up. We're lifting up out of the belly. We're lifting up and off of the hips. Continue to press into that back right foot, feeling the pinky toe engage. Breathing in. Breathing out. Full inhale. And exhale. Take another breath in. And another breath out. On your next inhale, pivot the toes to the side, lift the prayer up, flying warrior. On the exhale, we'll open the arms out to T and then reverse them behind the back. Now, you may be interlacing the fingertips behind the back. You may be grabbing opposite forearms or elbows. On the inhale, take that breath in as you lengthen. And then on the exhale, you'll begin to hinge forward, Prasarita C. Now, maybe your forearms are lifting towards the ceiling, right? Like what we did in the beginning of class. Maybe your knuckles are reaching high towards the ceiling. Or maybe you only took that halfway and then you allowed your arms to come to a chair. Again, I was just using a piano stool, but it could really be any item that allows you to support your upper body. right? So whether you're using your forearms for support, your palms for support on any level of prop, keep the belly engaged as you're breathing here. Right? It doesn't have to be the deepest variation, but can you engage your lower, middle, and upper belly while also keeping that softness in the jaw and tongue? So wherever you are, we're just going to take one more breath. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. And then we'll slowly release the arms back from behind us. Hands will come to the floor or any props nearby. On the inhale, lift flat back. Take a moment to lengthen. And then on the exhale, you'll walk yourself forward. So bend into the left knee, pivot on the right ball of the foot. You're in low lunge at the top of the mat. Allow your right foot to step forward as we meet in Uttanasana. Inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, we'll rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by the sides for mountain pose. Okay, so we're gonna allow ourselves to flow down here. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, maybe lift the chin. Exhale, slight bend into the knees as you forward fold. Inhale, lift flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, you'll fold, bend into the knees. Step any foot back first, but you're gonna walk yourself into plank. So if you wanna step with the right or the left, your choice. Keep your belly engaged, lower, middle, upper belly. Take a full breath in. And then on the breath out, downward facing dog. You're welcome to walk the feet in a little bit if that's helpful for you this morning. Pressing into the hands evenly, feeling the engagement of the arms, just like when we were standing and the arms were up above the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Full inhale. And exhale. Take one more breath in. And on this breath out, we'll gently lift into the balls of the feet, lower the knees, find a breath in child's pose. Any variation to child's pose? Knees wide, knees close. Hands are at the top of the mat, or the arms will reach back behind you. If you do like that stretching of the wrists, you can sweep the arms behind you, make the gentle fist, draw the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Just doing what feels best for you here. Noticing this engagement of the body, right? Just because we left the pose doesn't mean the body is done with it. You'll have to heal the tissue, create that strength, create that flexibility, heal scar tissue, all of the things that live within us. So within this moment and within this breath of child's pose, or within that moment of standing in Tadasana, we're just letting the body catch up with itself. The mind will be ready to go, 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 but we're allowing the body to catch up with itself. So wherever you are, allow yourself to take another breath in. And another breath out. And we'll allow our hands to come forward. We'll lift ourselves up out of child's pose. Maybe we're gonna send the legs around us and we'll come to sit down. Okay, we won't be here too long. We're gonna just scooch ourselves forward to the top of the mat and then mindfully come back and lie down. Right? So usually I lower one elbow down and then the other elbow, but that will be your choice. Now, if the legs relax, bend into the knees again, bringing your feet flat to the floor. Take a moment to bring your feet a little wider, and you can windshield wiper the knees from side to side here. Whatever feels best for you. Knocking them over to the left and over to the right. And then from there, the knees can find stillness, but walk the feet back in hips distance apart. So again, they'll just be as if we were prepping for a bridge pose. Take a moment to reach the arms up over the head. Okay. Now, if both arms or one arm up above the head is not helpful for your body, bend into the elbows so that the hands maybe are like in a cactus shape, or maybe the arms will rest down towards the body. Right? So any variation there, no right or wrong. But we're gonna start to inchworm our shoulders over to the right. Okay, so we're gonna curve our upper body over to the right. Right? Kind of like in that standing half moon or banana shape that we took. We'll curve our body over to the right. That lifts the left shoulder gently. So if you need a pillow or a blanket, you can prop the back of the head or prop that left shoulder here within the stretch. And as you continue to curve your upper body to the right, eventually you'll stop. And then if you want to straighten out the right leg, you're welcome to. That may deepen the stretch here a little bit. And then you can keep that left knee bent, or you can lengthen the left leg as well. It may feel good to stay right there, but if you want to curve your legs to the right, you can do so as well, so that we're in that full C or banana shape. And your upper body may curve more than the lower, or your lower body may curve more than the upper, but no right or wrong. Just taking a few breaths into this left shoulder, into this left rib cage, maybe into your hips and thighs and knees. And if keeping that discipline within the breath is helpful for you here, go for it. You're more than welcome to just breathe naturally here as well within this shape. You may have already done it, but with one sweep of consciousness, relax the entire body. No need to hold on to your wrists, no need to interlace the fingertips. Let these areas now have some space. You may even find some slight sensations through the diaphragm or anywhere along the belly. And just letting yourself take one more moment here. We'll allow ourselves to transition the same way we came into the shape. So if the left leg is straightened, bend into the left knee so that the foot can come down. And then you'll bend into the right knee so that foot will come down to the floor. And then you could start to release the arms. You can lift up your head, lift up through the hips. You'll find yourself in a neutral spine. Readjust whatever is best. And just take that moment to pause. Notice the awareness within the shoulders. Maybe some breaths of fresh air as the nervous system resets itself. And then we're going to do the same thing to the left. So first, bring your arms up above the head. One arm may need to be lower than the other, depending on your shoulders or your collarbones or your spine. Okay? But from that, we'll honor that shape as we start to curve our upper body over to the left. And maybe there's a little lift of the right shoulder, so you'll take a pillow or a blanket and prop the right shoulder, prop the head. If your forearms don't touch the floor comfortably, take a blanket underneath your forearms. Okay, and then here we are in one variation of banana. And you're more than welcome to stay here, or you can lengthen your left leg and see what that feels like. And then you can lengthen your right leg and see what that feels like. And And the body can just stay, the lower body anyway, can stay straight, or you'll curve the lower body as well. Your left heel will walk over to the left, and then your right heel will walk over to the left. And you'll curve your body in that C or banana shape to the left side. You also may know some different variations here, and you're welcome to do what's best. But you may send that cathartic breath into the right shoulder, maybe into the right side of the rib cage or into the hips, the legs, maybe even into the ankles. Again, with one sweep of consciousness, can you soften into the body? The engagement here is really more for the awareness to stay present. Stay present within your space, stay present within your breath. Maybe you've even relaxed the eyes and the eyes have closed. Maybe you're noticing your internal screen. And just as this undivided attention continues to be present here, whatever stretches you're feeling are the best for you to feel. So no right or wrong place to feel a stretch. And letting yourself take another cycle of breath. We'll allow ourselves to exit this the same way we came into it. So if your right leg is straightened, you'll bend into the right knee and guide the foot to the floor. Notice that release of the hips. And then your left knee will bend with the foot to the floor. And then you'll start to inchworm or pick up your shoulders and your head as you walk yourself back to center, picking up the pelvis, gliding the tailbone underneath you again. And just taking that moment to pause, right? Sitting within the comfort of the body. It may feel good to windshield wiper the knees here from side to side. So if the knees are bent, you're welcome to it. And then from there, I'd like you to take any final last shapes, any final poses. It could be hugging the knees into the chest. It could be a happy baby. Maybe just the legs reach up high towards the ceiling, whatever feels good. And then you'll allow yourself to prepare for your Shavasana. Okay, and no rush to get there, right? You still have a few breaths to take any final shapes or stretches or movements that are best for you. But just so you know, within that time, you'll be finding that Shavasana shape. That Shavasana shape could be on your back, maybe with a pillow underneath the head, maybe a blanket or pillow underneath the calves, knees, and then maybe you have a blanket even to cover the entire front body. And if laying on your back is not helpful for you, you're welcome to lay on your belly. You can lay on your side body with your knees in the chest. Ultimately, choose whatever is most comfortable for you. And then as we allow ourselves to settle into stillness, again with one sweep of consciousness, relax into the entire front body and back body. So much so that you start to become one with the floor, no separation. And as you notice this natural cadence with your breath, settling into stillness here, signaling to the body that we've arrived into Shavasana. Very gently, let's begin to deepen the breath. And you'll notice the presence of your inhales and the release of the exhales. As you draw yourself back into the space of your body, into the space of your room, and into the room that we energetically share. So within your own time, you can begin to awaken through the hands and feet. Whether you wiggle through the fingers and toes or roll through the wrists and ankles. And then if it feels good, you can reach the arms up and above the head to take a full body stretch. And then as your knees begin to bend one at a time, you can even take a moment to windshield wiper the knees. And as you rock side to side, you can begin to awaken through the hips and awaken through the torso. If it feels good, you can draw the knees all the way into the chest, wrap around the shins, wrap around the backs of the thighs. And it may feel awakening to draw your forehead up to the knees as you lengthen from the back body. And then from there, you'll take any other movements as you intuitively roll to the left or to the right. Your bottom arm can serve as a pillow for the head. Again, taking a moment here to let the body catch up with itself, right? Catch up with its experience. Letting your time in Shavasana be absorbed by the body while being reflected upon. And then you'll keep that undivided attention as you stay here, or you can gently walk yourself up to sit. So however you'd like to end your practice, you'll come into any shape that you desire. But from there, you'll reclose the eyes in case they've opened. And again, you'll find stillness. Taking a moment to reflect on your practice, noticing the natural lift of the front and back body, noticing freedoms within your breath, noticing any space or clarity in the mind. You can keep your hands on your knees, or maybe you bring them into a prayer shape at heart center. We'll come to find a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, and then open the lips to exhale. You're welcome to join me for the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Very gently bowing your chin towards your chest. Thank you for practicing with me this morning, being elevated through yoga. Namaste.